There you go.
Okay. Great. It's fine. I'm sure it'll. Oh, that's exciting.
Okay. Sorry, we're getting a little late starting here. My apologies. Everybody, that'd be great. My name is Chandra Vidal, and I'm part of the committee that is putting on the Western Canadian Campus Recreation Conference this weekend. So I'm here at the University of Calgary. Very happy to introduce Alyssa here. She's going to be talking about Let's Market, changing the way students think. Alyssa Reyes is a kinesiology student, active in athletics and recreation, both as a participant and a volunteer. She has spent years developing her knowledge of marketing and sponsorship through her education at UBC, working with UBC Rec and working with the BC Lions Football Club. Great experience. So, welcome and enjoy.
Thank you. Hi everyone, how's everyone doing so far? Third session in, good, good. We tried to make a circle, but there wasn't enough space, so it's like 3 circles. It's really exciting. Welcome to Let's Market. We'll run through, that's exciting. We'll run through some of these lovely activities, do a little intro, talk about what's happening at UBC, talk about some of the student initiatives that we've been undergoing, and as well as followed by a roundtable share. So to start us off, I'll let you give you a little 411 on what who I am. I'm Elisa. I work in the program development sector of UBC Rec with Colton and Alex here, my 2 friends. I'm the leadership portfolio. Essentially, how we work is we're a volunteer staff organization. So we have 140 volunteers, about 24 or so are directors, and then underneath that are assistant directors who help supervise, our leagues, run our marketing initiatives, and run events as well. I was the director of sponsorship prior to that, as well as an assistant director of sponsorship for a few years, and then that also led me to my experience with the BC Lions Football Club as the corporate partnerships associate. So just to get a feel for our crowd, how many of you are students? Wow, great. And how many of you, I guess, full-time staff? Awesome, a little mix of everything. Does anyone want to share where you're from, like what positions you guys are, and kind of what your programs are like? Don't all rush at once. Nope. Thank you. Cool. So some people from UVic. What about UBCO? I know some people from UBCO as well. Great. Yeah.
Program coordinator at University of Alberta.
Welcome. Awesome.
I'm Michelle Lesson. I'm the assistant clubs coordinator at Mount Royal University, and I'm currently in business in sports and rec.
Nice. Anyone else? It's okay. All right. So, again, I'm not really here to share this revolutionary idea that's going to attract your entire student population to all of your different programs. I'm simply here to share what UBC's up to. All right, I'm out of here. I'm here to share kind of what UBC has been doing, what populations we've been targeting, and sort of the changing climate around our student body and what we've done to sort of adjust accordingly. So, again, we are a completely volunteer-run staff, aside from our full-times, but there's 140 of us. We run, again, events, leagues, marketing, and these are the guys who are on the ground, supervising leagues, running referees, coordinating schedules, and they volunteer 10 to 15 hours a week. And we keep them motivated through retreats, recognize them through things like Staff of the Month. If you want to learn more about how we motivate our staff, these lovely gentlemen are doing a presentation on that tomorrow, so that's exciting. A little plug there. So, keep going. UBC at a glance. We have 57,706 students. 8,000 of them are international students, and about 10,186 faculty and staff. At the beginning of over the summer, our full-time staff came up with some priorities and goals for the year. I'm sure some of these are very similar to some of your guys' on campus, like gaining unique participants, summarizing your communications and marketing so that they're not getting 15 emails from the aquatic center, the tennis center, intramurals, events, leagues, but actually combining it all together so that you get one email from everyone. Increasing staff experience, making it positive, increasing partnerships on campus, improving our research and evaluation so that we have some academia behind what we do as an intramural program, and of course, increasing and making positive our participant experience. So with our priorities, we looked at some of our numbers and found that we had, in 2012 to 2013, over the summer, term 1 and term 2, we had 3,496 arts students participating and 9,106 commuter students participating. These seem kind of like large numbers. However, these are probably the 2 largest groups on our campus. The Faculty of Arts makes up about half of our UBC campus, and our campus is very much commuter-based. People come in from everywhere, and we're a largely based commuter university. So what's surprising about this is that these 2 numbers are probably our lowest participation numbers. So to have our largest groups of students on campus be our smallest group was a little concerning and a little surprising. So with that knowledge, we decided to target these 2 populations, art students and commuter students. In addition to helping target those art students and commuter students, we also made the change. So I know some of you already have all of your recreation facilities under one umbrella. However, UBC Rec, prior to this year, was its own entity. We were on our own, managing all of our intramurals, and then this year everyone decided to go under one big umbrella: the aquatic center, the tennis center, the ice center. What else am I missing? Everyone just under one big UBC recreation umbrella. This helped with our communications and marketing so that we presented a united front. Made it a lot easier for unique participants and for people either visiting the campus, around campus community, or even new students. They just went to www.recreation.ubc.ca, and you could find every avenue possible on the planet. Well, not on the planet, but on our UBC planet. Whereas before it was, okay, what's the website for the aquatic center? Okay, where do I find the drop-in schedule for badminton, basketball, and volleyball? And they were all in different places, and now we're making it easier and more accessible for people. So through that, we launched our Live Active campaign. That made it easier for us to target certain populations. So a part of that campaign was Live Active, Win Tuition. Targeting those academically focused students that are very focused on, I'm here to study, I'm here to get good grades, and that's all I want to do. So through our drop-in programs at, say, Doug Mitchell Thunderbird Arena, Ice Arena, the Aquatic Center for swimming, as well as our drop-in sports at our gym, every time you swiped your UBC card, you were entered to win tuition, entered into a raffle to win tuition. So that was one sort of campaign that we tried. And so that's more on the sort of full-time level. Some student initiatives, like I said, 140 volunteer staff, about 30 of which are a part of our marketing sector. They are in charge of sponsorship, marketing, public relations, health promotions, media, and digital media, social media as well. So some of these student initiatives that we've run are kind of have these underlying themes that we're gauged on getting unique participants and aligned with a lot of the goals and priorities set by the full-time staff. At the beginning of the year, we shared them with our directors, and we said, look, here are the goals and priorities that we've set out for this year. And a lot of them chose to run with that and decided, great, I'm on board. This is what we want to do. This is how we're going to attack that. So the first one is Day of the Longboat. For those of you who don't know, Day of the Longboat is a boat race around Jericho Beach. It's an outrigger canoe, 10 people on a team. It's kind of that signature event at UBC that launches the school year. You have to do Day of the Longboat. It's super fun. And sadly, not everyone hears about it. But one of the ways that we try to attract more people and to engage more people, even for future programming, is social media. We launched in partnership with Whistler Blackcomb. We did a sponsorship sort of Instagram contest where people would take pictures load them on Instagram, hashtag our sponsor, hashtag our event, Longboat 13, and the most likes won a prize from Whistler Blackcomb. Again, it's a great way. We found it great because you're creating buzz on social media in and around your event, as well as your own social media as well. So at UBC Rec, for Twitter, Instagram, all those avenues. It got the conversation going, and the great part about that is now you have others advertising for you. So you could have 400 followers on Instagram, but the person that's taking a picture could have 400 more or 500 more. And those are different people across campus that now, a picture tells a picture tells 1,000 words, and that picture is now, wow, that looks like a lot of fun, or wow, that looks really competitive, and now I understand like what UBC Rec is doing or what that intramural program is doing. And again, it's having those other people advertise for you. Our next one is Versus. We found that adjusting our programming towards our target audience was also a very positive theme in what we were trying to do. So last year, Versus is kind of a new event that we launched last year. It is essentially themed every year, and it's kind of you come as a single participant. You don't need to have a group of friends to do it with, and you kind of go through a bunch of challenges and games throughout the day. Last year it was zombie themed. This year it's Hunger Games themed. And we found that following the trend of certain culture trends was a really exciting way to get different people involved on campus. So like I said, Zombies and Hunger Games, some of our active promotions actually centered around that theme. So this year we had people dress up as people. Any Hunger Games avid fans out there? Anyone? Yeah, kind of, yeah. All right. So it's a book, and now they've turned them into movies, and we had people dress up as if they were from the Capitol. So, they had wigs on and like crazy makeup. Some people were just unrecognizable. It was frightening. And we went to our bus loop, like I said, largely commuter student university. We went to our bus loop, and we promoted, handed out rave cards, and just created a great visual for the kind of environment that we hope that we're planning on having at the event. Same with Zombies. We went through the Res Life community last year and dressed up as zombies and kind of freaked a couple people out, but it was a good way to kind of attract people and engage people right away with that visual piece. We also adjusted the time of day of the event so that we would attract more commuters. We found a lot of commuters didn't want to stay on campus till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night to play a basketball game. They didn't want to stay till midnight to play in a futsal classic tournament. So what we did is we made it throughout the day. Again, this year it'll be from, I do believe, 3 to 5 p.m. Again, catering to that audience that we want to attract. Last year, I can't speak on this year because it's actually next week, but last year we had about 100 Versus participants, and 79 of which were unique participants who had never participated in our programming. So we found that really successful. And then the third sort of underlying theme in a lot of our programming and the student initiatives that we've launched is through our marketing sector, especially through marketing and public relations and health promotions as well. We started creating partnerships. We've done it before, but we really started to put a little more emphasis on our partnerships. We partnered with the university for Thrive Week. Thrive Week is a week that started by the university to help promote healthy living and healthy lifestyles. We partnered with the university, and it just allowed us to create another avenue for communication for people on campus. For those that weren't hearing about our programs for some reason, or didn't really understand what UBC Rec or UBC Recreation was. We found that if you have that familiar face and that affinity to another group, it really kind of creates that trust that, okay, great, that actually sounds like a dependable event. It's not going to be this tiny little event in a random room where I don't know anyone and I don't know who's teaching it. So just having UBC advocate for your program can really help you. As well as we did a lot of partnerships with faculties, clubs, and the community. Lace Up for Kids is a skate-a-thon that we run every year. We raise about $40,000 every year, and we partnered with the BC Children's Hospital in support of the Rare Disease Foundation. Again, partnering with different groups on campus, we reached out to a lot of the faculties, a lot of the clubs, and said, hey, we have this great event. We're raising money. You guys should put a team together, come out to our event, and have a good time. And we went to, the Kinesiology Undergraduate Society, Science Undergraduate Society. We met with the Quidditch Club, like every possible group on campus we tried to reach out to. And then lastly, for Storm the Wall, we had, again, faculties, clubs, and the community. One year we ran a marketing campaign called It's Storm, or It's Yours as well. What we did was we replaced the last word with whatever group on campus or different people on campus. So we'd go, It's Arts, or It's Kin, or It's Quidditch, again, going back to that example. But what we did was we created personal cover photos and profile pictures for a variety of groups on campus and tagged people that we knew in them so that they could put it on their Facebook group. We found it extremely successful. We engaged faculties, clubs, the Greek system, and we also we had them create boards, like wooden boards that essentially said, it's whatever group they were, and they got to paint it and decorate it, and we displayed them around campus. We found that people had a lot of pride they had more pride and were more engaged in the event because they were like, wow, my group's participating in it, I should too. We had record-breaking number of teams that year, which was awesome. So, to look at UBC Rec at a glance, last year we had, again, those same numbers, and that included our summer numbers, term 1 and term 2. This year we have 2,482 art students so far, and 7,135 commuter students so far. And that does not include our second term, which has Versus and Storm the Wall, which is our biggest sort of unique participant, the events that bring in the most unique participants. So we're really excited that we're making some progress toward those goals. So I thought we'd just do a roundtable share and kind of talk about the different populations that your programs are currently targeting and any initiatives or steps you guys have been taking to target them. Anyone?
At SAIT, here in Calgary, we get a lot of people that come for 4 months from Angola or something like that, and they're here for 4 months and then they leave. So we target some of our programming specifically to them, and they're generally here and don't have a lot to do. So they're some of our best clients, actually.
Cool. Sorry, and you said why are they only here for 4 months?
They come to do a trade, get educated in a trade.
Cool.
And that's why they're only here for 4 months, and then they go back to their country and can work there.
Nice. Anyone else?
At UBC Okanagan, we just opened our fitness facility, so right now we're just really trying to raise awareness on campus in general that we now have fitness facilities and programming on campus because it's brand new.
How you what specific steps have you guys been taking?
It's kind of been crash media everywhere that we can possibly put it up in campus. The University Center, any of the billboards we can get.
We put promotions up too.
Promotions everywhere of trying to just get more people engaging in our programs.
Cool.
So yeah, it's just been flyers, whatever we can put anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm from the University of Fraser Valley. Some of the challenges that we have is we have a youth pass, but it's not just for the bus, it's for gyms that are within the community, so Abbotsford, Mission, Chilliwack. But the on-campus gym is an additional fee. We also have 3 campuses, so Mission, Abbotsford, and Chilliwack. And then the Chilliwack campus has all around PvP people, but the gym's on Abbotsford campus. So it's hard to partnership with your kinesiology students when they're not even in the facility. Those are our challenges.
Anyone else?
One of our biggest challenges at EIU is the trade students who are right down the bottom of campus, and then we've got, and they're only there 8 to 4, and then they're gone. And our science students, which are way at the top of campus, we're on the side of a mountain, so they don't want to walk all the way to the bottom to use our rec facility. And so they park at the top, come into class, they leave. We never see any of them in our programs.
Yeah, we found we recently. So one of our things is like participant experience, and I know some of the things that we've done is like increase our hours, which obviously like location is also a very, very big problem. We recently opened a studio in the Ponderosa building, which is a new residence on campus, which was like pretty much all the way across campus. So I know that's kind of a very difficult feat, but I don't know, that's something that we've done.
We tried that. We're just 2 buildings over.
Yeah.
Still didn't get everybody from. We used to run a yoga class in the international building.
Mm-hmm.
That was just closer to residents, so it might got a couple more residents.
Yeah. Yeah, and some of the things that we've done as well. So for Storm the Wall this year, we're trying to partner with some of the faculties and get them more involved. And our public relations department, in conjunction with our health promotions department, is trying to reach out to those faculties and create events specific to them. So, you know, yoga for art students and yoga for science students, and kind of bringing it to them in their buildings. So that's something that we've been trying as well.
And are those free programs when you do that?
Yes, they are. Yes. Anyone else? Yeah.
Not sure if other schools do this, but every Thursday at UBCO we do Res Night, where pretty much any student can come and use the gym facilities to try them out.
Oh, cool.
There's lots of games and stuff they can play. This targets the first years too, so hopefully we get them going back.
Yeah, that's a great one. Neat. Yeah.
Beginning of the year at Mount Royal, we have sort of Res Olympics or Get Rec. We just get all the people from Res out and try to tell them, and we have games for them. We try to get them involved in rec, but it seems to not work too well. They lose interest early on, so we need to work on a better way to get the Res students out there, even though it's not a big Res population, like it is a big commuter school as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Just adding to that, we have a strong like commitment from the students at the beginning of the year, and I think a struggle for, I know like our intramural program too a little bit, is like keeping them committed the whole semester instead of just participating in everything in September in the opening week or whatever, and then kind of fading out. That's a big challenge just for, I know res students especially, but all across the board.
Interesting. Yeah.
At SEAG, we're also waiting, we were due for a reno last year. Our gym is just undersized. And so the problems that we have is as a trade school, everybody goes to class from 8 to 4. And everybody has lunch from 12 to 1. So if you try to come to the gym between 12 and 1 or 4 to 6, it's packed. So we don't know how. We're trying to come up with ideas of storage and maybe, I don't know if anybody has any input or any ideas on how we can engage new people that we want to the gym, but also keep the people that are already there. If you walk into our weight room, you cannot do walking lunges in the weight room. There's too much equipment and too many people. You will get hit with something. So it's tough. Like in the fire marshal says they can't do them in the hallway because there's fire and there's barbells and it's going to trip over it. So that's where we're sort of at. We're stuck within our walls. So I don't know if anyone has any input if they have any sort of similar situations. But that's sort of where we're. A lot of the people that go to the weight room have that problem.
Anyone?
Nobody thought it.
Yeah.
At VIU, we have a very similar problem. Our weight room is very congested, but we have 2 spaces where it's basically open, and anyone, so people who want to stretch or do dynamic activities can go to those open spaces. It's more of like a free-for-all. And it kind of keeps the people that are not specifically using like a weightlifting equipment out of the weight room, and then people who want to specifically use just those machines that aren't movable can use those. And anyone that wants to use, say, free weights or something is free to take them to sort of the freer area.
We don't even have that room. Yeah, it's pretty tight, but then you get some of the really tight. So it's just I don't know. It's like our fitness classes are really picking up into our swimming programs, but that's the complaints we get about the weight room.
Yeah, that's.
So is that
I was just gonna say, that could be something that's like, sort of more fundamental about how those programs that are, educational programs, like, is there any flexibility that one faculty could do 11:30 to 12:30 lunch, and another one could, like, is there any flexibility for start times? Cause even a half an hour, I know in our gym, it's like you walk out and there's no room at all, and you walk back out a few minutes later and there's some space again, so
Maybe
just
it's
spread
gonna
them
go
out.
to this, yeah, I'm not sure if it's possible, but we can definitely.
Can we do anything outside? I mean, weather permitting. I'm down in Lethbridge and we're getting some requests now in some of the park areas, but there are some park equipment where you have to get things.
Right,
this week.
yeah, possibly, there is some, a little bit of increase of maybe what we're doing, yeah.
Have you ever tried to run more programs in your pool during those busy hours that might draw the more dynamic people out of like the weight room area and into the water?
Yes, we have, except for, I'm actually the aquatic supervisor, so we have, but, people don't wanna get their hair wet at lunch. Honestly, goodness.
That is
Yeah.
a fair concern.
I
I think it's a valid concern.
The Zumba program is pretty popular after school, but, yeah, nobody wants to get their hair wet at lunch.
Jogging is pretty popular at our facility.
Okay, we have
Now they have the option to not get their hair wet.
Yeah, that might be something we should look at as well.
You ever tried alternating days? Like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday pass? That just gives you access on those days, and a Tuesday, Thursday pass, and just a Saturday, Sunday pass.
No.
Back in the years at UBC at Berkeley, we did that when I was managing there. That was one, those were 3 systems that we had because
Yeah, it gets nuts.
it was packed back then. That was a while back. But that worked very well for just spreading people out.
Yeah.
I'd say everybody gets a free pass, staff and
Yeah, so that kind of
Can't
has,
segregate the day.
yeah.
Yeah.
We did that.
The students pay a fee in their tuition, but the staff is free.
Are there any close by multi-purpose rooms that are empty at that time that you could put in a mobile fitness unit, a mobile gym type thing?
There is sometimes, but we a lot of the time have like classes running at that time, so we'll have Zumba or yoga or heat yoga or we have like a lot of karate and other programs as well that are using those multi-purpose areas. And so the problem was with opening up, that was a suggestion, opening up the aerobics studio at lunch when there's no aerobics, was that the consistency is that that person comes in at noon and can use that space, but then they come back at 4 the next day and are really choked because they can't use that space at that time. And so, yeah, that was we tried that.
Did you have something over here?
I was gonna say that.
Oh,
So-
both of you.
One thing we did to get rid of the roid monkeys, I know we don't want to lose students and stuff like that, but one thing that we did was we eliminated all weights over 90.
Huh.
And that cut out a bunch of people that actually. There was quite a few large gentlemen that were in there using weights and dropping them and causing damage to our floor. Actually.
Yeah.
So we actually just got rid of them.
Yeah, we actually just got a new lifting platform. So, but the damage to the equipment hasn't been a problem. It's just they're just in there all the time.
All the time.
basically, and
Yeah.
they're not self-thing. Yes, it's good. It's a good thing that they're.
It's good to have it's good to have more people than less, but
We don't have more room to crowd it. They're just
Bigger
yeah.
space.
The other thing maybe is like a lot of the fitness classes often gear or are targeted to females and trying to do more of a fitness class that's more big cater to those guys, like either like kind of a CrossFit or TRX type stuff, so it kind of pulls them out of there and into something where they're looking for direction in their workouts rather than just from one guy to another.
Yeah.
I know Amanda has re-looked at that too, for sure. So it's definitely an excellent solution.
Kind of similar thought to that, but maybe like and I'm not sure how this would work, but set up more like the Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday thing, but instead of having different days, just have different times. Like 5 to 6 is for beginners that want to use the weight room, and 7 to 8, because then it would be, I don't know, like you can't say, oh, I'm an expert, so I can't come to the beginner class, or that. Not saying that would deter everybody, but it might spread it out a little bit more. Another thing is if people don't want to leave campus know if you would evaluate necessarily, but just like market it towards them, so it's not like a set in stone thing where you have like a beginner group or this time you can like do some dynamic stuff and there's room to, or if you can move stuff around for these like couple hours and or put it away, just so it's not all out at once.
I think you have a lot of wealthy oil and gas graduates that you need to hit up.
A larger facility. Yeah.
Noted.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sometimes nice to bounce ideas off other people.
Okay, well, if that's everything, does anyone have any questions? It wasn't very clear. I don't know. Excitement. Yeah.
So with all these partnerships you're setting up with other student groups, is
Yes.
there some kind of guiding principle of you'll partner with any student group, or do they have to be recognized in a certain way, or like how do you, I guess, monitor that?
It's really, our public relations department is a group of about 5, 1 director and 4 assistant directors, and it's basically up to them how they decide to approach different groups. So it also depends on the event as well. So for Storm, like, not very discriminatory. They're like, we want to get as many teams. I think they have a goal of 800 teams. 800 teams, 5 people. Yeah. And so one person's in charge of targeting faculties. One person's in charge of targeting like a handful of clubs, and then another person helps them with that. Another person's in charge of Res Life, partnering, having meetings with them, partnering with them. So again, I guess it really just depends. Something we did for one of our other events, which was Great Trek, which is just like a 10K run around campus. One of the girls in the public relations department happened to have a prof who was like, well, she was really interested in running and, was really engaged, and through that a partnership kind of grew through that. So sometimes it's also just who is open to that idea.
Just to add on to that, what we kind of found with a lot of student groups in particular is that most of them are really open and really excited about getting engaged with us, and they're really passionate about getting all their members involved. But for the most part, they don't actually know that we offer that, or that we would be interested in partnering with them. And so just being open and flexible and kind of getting the word out that we are able to partner with groups is really important.
Yeah, and is there any financial commitment to this, or it's just, hey, we'll share your stuff if you share ours? Or?
Yeah, it's pretty much like every partnership's different. We also partnered with our radio station, so that was kind of a very different group. It wasn't, their aims weren't, I want to get fit and active. It was, we want to get more exposure, and we know you guys have a good student base that we don't normally communicate with. So it's kind of sharing those ties as well, because we do have a loyal group of people that come to all of our leagues and come to our events, and they have their loyal group of people that are, heavy-duty listeners that listen every week, and kind of combining that's kind of most of the benefits of our partnerships is reaching out to more people. And again, with the CITR, which is our radio station, now we've partnered with them to help train DJs to help. So we have MCs at all of our big events, being like knowing what they're saying and know what to say, know what not to say, and how to attract an audience. So yeah, it's some of them kind of occur, and it's like, wow, these are really great opportunities, and some of them are like, we just want a yoga class. That's all we want. So yeah, it's having those conversations that really benefit us. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a question about, because you have all of your employees are volunteer, correct?
Yes.
How do you, we have paid student staff, and they're all starting students, so they're very money hungry.
Yeah.
So they're just trying to find any kind of job. How do you get so many volunteers, like students that want to work for free?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I look at them and I'm like, yeah, like we have ice hockey supervisors that are there. Ice time is so expensive. So we have people there until 1:00 in the morning, and I'm like, you are crazy. Alex is one of them. We're like, you are crazy. I don't know why you do this. But I think we've just created like a community and culture around our campus that, it's a great way to get involved. It's a great way to get experience, and it's a good community to be involved with too. Some people get involved for this, the more social aspect. I want a place on campus that, I can hang out with my friends, and we have our student office where people can hang out and do work at the same time. So again, really great question. They have a presentation on it tomorrow, and like they could go into hours of detail. But yeah, just there's different ways, like recognizing your staff. We have retreats every year, one at the very beginning of the year to launch it and get everyone acting as a community. And a lot of it as well is putting the idea into our directors' heads, which there's 24 of them. They each have a range of 3 to 10 assistant directors underneath them. Getting the idea into their head that, create that warm and positive environment. Be active in the moment and encourage your assistant directors. If they're hungry for more responsibility, like give that to them. If they just want, to have a good time, like give them the responsibilities, but also know that you'll need to create that social aspect as well. So I can't really answer it in.
A big thing is definitely skill based. A lot of people will come in and say, hey, I want skills. They'll come in and say, well, volunteer also looks good on a resume beyond actually having a job. You'll find a lot of people in our program will actually have a job elsewhere where they'll work, part-time, and then they'll also come into the program for us. Because our program has a kind of wide variety of skills, we can come in and actually market something, or you can come in and run an intramural league. We get a variety of backgrounds across, and like you said, like a wide variety will come in for the social aspect, but a large variety will come in just for that actual skill thing. Yeah. But like for me, the reason I would have joined the program at the beginning as a volunteer was, I'm like, I need to meet some people on campus, and this was a great way to come in and have 140 new people that I then knew on the campus.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys always had the volunteer program? Like, has it?
Since it started, it was a completely volunteer run.
Yeah.
As well as us, the 3 of us would be as well volunteers.
Yeah. Yes.
So how many schools have clubs on campus? Because my job is the clubs coordinator, and we have 27 clubs on campus that are run by a whole bunch of students that are passionate about X, Y, or Z.
Mm.
And we don't provide them. Right. But those are, I bet you if you look at the bigger group on campus of your student society clubs, you'll find people who are willing to put in hours towards something that they believe in.
Yeah.
The trick is to try to figure out how do you give them a platform where they can share their passions with their friends.
Yeah.
So you're not asking, like the amount of, the organization at UBC is what makes it super impressive. The people power and energy that goes behind it, I think you could probably find on campus. It's how do you channel that in a way where everybody feels like they're actually achieving progress.
Yeah.
And you have some fantastic events that you run for your volunteers, which really gives you that feel-good feeling.
Thank you.
Right. You can also tap into your participants, and there's that sense of belonging is actually huge, and they see these staff having fun and being a part of something, and that's from SFU, that's a big draw for us as people who are just participating in something. They want to be part of the group, so that's sort of an easy market to go after. But once it sort of gets a life, like you see, like everyone just knows that, right? Like it's just a huge thing. So you can be intentional with it and leave it after it. I think it kind of gets less.
I would say a large percentage of our applicants every single year come from that participant base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the front lines, we try to make sure that our staff that are out there at the supervising shift, or they're at the front desk of the aquatic center, or wherever that is, that they're creating that positive experience with that participant. So then they're like, hey, these guys look like they're having fun. I would like to have fun.
Yeah.
Which kind of gets that ball rolling.
I think we've always had paid, like they've been paid staff, so it's not like we can transition to.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, we cut all the funding out of the intramurals budget maybe 7 years ago or something.
Did that affect your participant level?
No, not at all. That we built a real sort of like a leadership model, so all our staff could, we taught them skills, and they developed. There's a lot of mentoring, so our upper group will get a stipend of a few $100s a semester, like your top managers, but there's unlimited pool of people who want to be a part of that. And then all at one time we're all paid people.
Are most of your participant students though? Because like we have the challenge.
They're
We have a
most
lot
of
of.
them, yeah.
We have a huge mixture of community involvement because our facility is open to the community
Okay.
as well as to students. So we have the challenge of trying to draw in more students than the actual community itself. Like they just kind of come their own way, whereas we want more students. So it's difficult that way.
Yeah, we're all students.
Yeah. We also kind of, going from that paid staff to volunteer staff. A lot of all of our referees are paid, and so again, creating that experience with them as well, like, kind of translates in the sense that we'd have referee socials or kind of referee specific events, and that kind of created a community within our referees. And then they were like, oh wow, like this is what UBC Rec does, like that actually sounds fun. And we find that a lot of them as well apply to our program, because knowing that it's not a paid position as well. So I don't know if that's, I know that's not really a specific, but kind of.
It's interesting. It's just it's kind of a different concept.
Yeah. Anything else? Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, I know you guys are really successful with a lot of your events that you run through Rec. Do you guys ever run into issues with like viability of the actual university? Just because we've tried to throw some events before that they've shut down because it's not safe. For what strategies do you go about trying to convince them that you're trying to promote active giving?
A lot of waivers. I don't know, Mike, if you could speak more to that.
We've been fortunate to have a lot of these more diverse events in effect for quite a while. So that's not to say that we don't continue to develop training programs and make sure that our staff are well prepared for any situation that arises. But I would say a large part of it is because some of these events that she referenced are over 30 years.
Yeah.
We've been really proactive with our university risk manager as well, who's actually been awesome with not saying no to anything, but just planning all along, and just really getting that feedback and that input on how to do things or how to minimize risk to the institution. Basically, you're never going to get rid of it based on what we do, but just go to the expert right away, and then that's sort of our safety net.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't have a concrete answer. Any other questions? I think our time, it looks like our time's up. Yeah. No. Okay, well, thank you. That was, yay, so excited. Thank you very much.
Great job.
Thank you.
Before you guys take off, if you wouldn't mind,
oh my goodness.
Back more. Yeah,
Yikes.
There'll be somebody outside collecting them, and then you can head upstairs.
Your lifeguards paid? Yes.
Yes.
So who's volunteer? So volunteer would run, we have 9 intramural leagues, we run 20 events, and then we run like a marketing center. So all of our like pool staff, our gym staff.
Oh, sorry.
It's just intramural kind of leagues and events that they run throughout the year, and like marketing, PR,